Hello.
Hello.
Welcome
Hi.
back. Welcome back to
We're back.
this conversation.
This conversation is back.
It has been a long break.
Back with a bang.
Hey, a long break. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year
Happy
can
New
also
Year,
be
yeah.
said in February.
Yeah, it's still new for if hatujaonana, si ndio? Ni ukweli hatujaonana hii mwaka. So happy New Year. We are back and we are psyched up for this new year, 2023.
Yeah, we bless the Lord.
And it has been a great journey, and we hope that you will continue with us in this journey of 2023 as we have more and more conversations.
True.
And hey, it has been a tough one, eh?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
A heavy one.
Yeah. And there's so much that has been happening. I think even for us, ukiona tumekaa from December mpaka now, life has been happening, but we thank God that we are here and we continue with the conversations that we are having and just assessing, even just starting off. I think just going deep into it, just trying to understand. I know we had set plans. I think when we ended at planning.
Planning how we were ending the
Yes.
year.
And now we are getting to now starting actualizing some of the plans that we have. And it's interesting. I think this is what actually will be the meat of our discussion today. It's interesting that I was having just a conversation with a friend of mine, and alikuwa ananiambia ameanza ashachoka.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a sense of expectation that you have when you are starting a year, like a new season, new year, new me,
New energy.
new energy,
Shock on you.
new relationships, so many new things.
Yeah.
And maybe now in actualization, then you don't really get to see it really coming into play the way maybe you imagined it.
Imagination.
So I don't know, maybe you can tell us more about how do you assess. I think it's important to assess yourself as we push towards the year. How can we, as we continue with this year, I know we'll have such moments.
Yeah, true,
yes.
very true.
So how do we get to a place of now just self-evaluation as we continue with the year?
Yeah, there's this notion
Yes.
where, like, remember, as you're ending the year, it feels like, remember when you used to close school? When you're ending school, it's a term that is ending. It's maybe the end of that year, and when you come again, you're coming to a new class with a new teacher, with maybe a new environment. There's that connotation of newness, new beginnings. But now, in actuality, when we end the year, when the year begins in January, yes, the month is new. But then again, what else is new? Because it's me, it's in my same environment. If it was in my work, maybe like we were saying in the last episode, did I even rest? Because the rest, the days that are given, some people take leave at the end of the year, but then that's not leave to stay alone, to recharge yourself. It's leave to be with people, to party, to
engage.
Tunachezea wapi, to engage, to go to shags, to travel. There's all that. So you realize that by the time the year is ending, we're actually tired. We're burnt out. And then it's again, not in many people, in many of us, to start the year like the year is starting, so I have 2 weeks or I have my leave. So it's December, we are certainly having the festivities, the year ends, and then we hit January. At least I'm glad this year the schools gave us some time. The calendar was really practical, and children relaxed. And I think many of us, if possible, for those who could, took that time to also relax. Actually, I realized that if I don't take that time to just zone off a bit, relax a bit, recharge a bit, then we'll hit it going. Like Kitambo, you could realize there's a duration where actually, I remember it was New Year and schools were opening by 3rd. So you realize the children are tired, you're tired. So yes, when the year ends, yes, it has ended, but realistically, it is life flowing. Life is going on. And maybe now that's where there's that aspect of someone, it's already we're just in February, but someone is feeling tired. So the question here is, then what need I to do to just be aware of what are my levels?
You're bringing a very interesting, just a question is coming to mind. Then how is what is the best way of getting rest for yourself? I think rest is something very vital for us as we continue progressing through the year. Yes, I know we are told to push. You're told to push yourself. So many motivational speakers we hear about, motivational videos that we watch, like push until you sweat, until you like everything, until you bleed.
Yeah.
but
sometimes very dangerous.
But how can we? I think it's good to push, but push in a
smartly, relatively, because when you talk about rest,
yes,
how then do I know I need to rest? You see, rest is relative, and rest means different things to different people. To some people, rest means I'm not working. To some people, rest means I am cutting off a few things. To some people, rest means taking a holiday. So I don't know what rest means to somebody. And so that's the first thing I have to understand. When I talk of resting, what does it mean for me? It may not necessarily mean an expensive holiday, because some people say, then how do I rest and I don't have money to travel? No, I can still rest in my house. It's just about at that moment when you feel, I feel I am stretched. I feel, because I have to listen to my inner clock. I have to listen to myself. And that's why sometimes I saw a video, I think I was showing you, where people have pushed to the point of you're collapsing when you're giving a speech.
Yes.
Maybe you're a teacher, and you see the unfortunate thing is that when we are at that burnout level, we start projecting to other people. We start, just lashing out. We start, it's the children who will suffer, it's the husband who will suffer, our relationship will suffer somewhere. So I think the most important thing for rest to happen, I first have to listen to my inner body. If I'm tired, I am tired. We only have one body. Spare parts za vitu zingine haziko. So sometimes we push and we look like we are heroes out there, and there's a time we're talking to mothers, and like sometimes mothers, we portray this image of a super mama who will do this, will do this.
Super women.
It's okay to say I am tired. It's okay to say I need help. It's okay to delegate. It does not mean you're weak. Actually, it's a sign of strength that I realize I can do up to this point. Because again, we have projected this image of this lady who will always have it in. It's always cut out well, it's always working. So the day you're getting tired and you're feeling tired and it feels like a weakness to say that I'm actually tired, then you start imagining people will see you as weak. No. If you're tired, you're tired. So if you need a rest, if your body is talking of a rest, then that's the time we have to first of all be aware of what our body is talking about. Look at the ABCs of self-care, where it talks about just one of the strategies. A is being aware. Am I aware of my feelings? Am I aware of what I am doing? Am I aware of what my role calls up? What am I aware of? Am I aware of if my job entails a lot, or my job, and job here is relative, not necessarily employment. It could be even I am a housewife, or I am self-employed, but there's that which I'm engaging in. I have to be aware of what it takes for me.
A student is actually
even a student. A student, you have to understand if you're a student. Some people we are having where I have a job, I have a side hustle, and then another side hustle to finance this, and then again I am a student, I have a side hustle. So what exactly is your obligation? What is the first role of obligation? If I'm a student, how much else can I take up? If I'm a mother, how much else can I take up? If I'm employed, how much else can I take up? I think for me that's very important. Prioritizing my roles, prioritizing what I need to do, so that then I can start cutting off that which is not necessary. So the ABCs are normally awareness, and then B, there is the balancing. How am I balancing? What is even there to balance? Sometimes we balance that which needed to have been dropped like last year, but we are still hanging on to it and trying to balance. And then the C is about, I think, connectivity. I mean, your networks. Sometimes you need to do something, maybe someone else would have helped you, and then you are there struggling with all of it. So that's just the nutshell of ABCs.
I think also one of the things that I'm also getting is important to really self-assess yourself.
Very important.
How regular should this be? Is it something that, because I think maybe you're talking to someone who they understand pushing is like you have to, like there's so many things that come with the responsibility that they have in life, that maybe they are maybe she's a mother, and then which I think unfortunately say that is a full-time is a lifetime job. A lifetime job. You are a parent, and then there are bills that are coming in, and there is nothing that you can actually, like you've pushed to a level that you have nothing else, but you have to. You how do we get to learn this culture of really having time for
just
ourselves?
Being self-aware.
Yes.
I think one of the things, and it's very good that you've brought it up, and there's an exercise I've been doing with in the life skills coaching, where I realized that the roles we have come with expectations, and these expectations are sometimes internal and external. And so there's an exercise we're doing with some ladies. Just write down all the roles you feel you have. For instance, Alex is
a CEO.
A CEO, Kirokli.
Yes.
So CEO. What else is Alex?
There's a breadwinner somewhere.
Breadwinner.
Yes.
If it's there, it's a role. You see, it's
yeah.
your role. Again, it's customized.
Yes.
Your roles cannot be my roles. You could be CEO and I could be CEO, but I've delegated.
Yes.
But you are CEO and you're active. So these roles, and that's why it has to be about me. So CEO, breadwinner.
The director somewhere.
Director.
He's also a worship leader.
A leader.
A leader somewhere.
You're a brother.
Yes.
You're a son.
Yes. A brother or an uncle.
You're an uncle. Look at all those relations we have.
Yes.
And you see, in a subtle way, we don't realize that our roles at any particular time, depending on the role that you are at, it has expectations. Now, I also came to realize some expectations are created by us to gain relevance. So there's a role I have.
Yes.
I have entrusted myself to be your friend. And I feel that I'm responsible for you. And I now want to imagine what you eat, what you wear, how you are is my responsibility. You know, I'm straining.
Yes.
I'm getting tired.
Yes.
Who am I going to blame? And you on the other end, you have not signed up.
Yeah.
And that's why I saw a quote somewhere that one day you will be shocked that the people you went out all your way for had not signed a contract with you. And you will be mad at them. Because maybe the time you feel you need somebody, somebody's not there for you.
Yeah.
And so out of the roles, I came to realize some roles are perceived while others are real. If we are friends,
Yes.
then I just need to get the boundaries. What does friends mean? You've seen some people who you're there for somebody even when they don't need you.
You're still there because
You just want to,
yeah,
you see,
feel-
gaining relevance and creating relevance. You're there and you've given yourself a role in the life of somebody. Now that role is coming with expectations
Yes,
from
yes,
either
yes,
yourself or even where you've presented yourself, then they have expectations.
Yes.
Now it could be a role that is not clear, but it's a role. So by the end of the day, you had your role, maybe I was a mother, and now there's this friend who maybe is planning a party, and I've chosen to be their assistant. So we went to shop A, we went to shop B, went to shop, and they've really not delegated to me, but I'm there, the shadow, because I'm gaining relevance. And this is also very subconsciously sometimes, just the gaining of relevance. So at the end of the day, when I am tired, by the time we are having this party, when it is over, why will I say I was tired?
Yet you gave yourself that.
If I was asked, that's okay. But if again, and this is very, 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 can be very controversial, if I gave myself to assist in the planning and I'm okay with it, then can I not come again and say the way nilichoka?
You ndo ulijitoa.
Because mi ndo nilijituma.
Yes.
Nilijituma. So in that kujituma, it's a role I've created. And yet I could go out there, we are doing their work. So in the evening when I come back, I'm a student, I've not done my assignments. Tulifanya zile tunaitanga raundi mwenda with the teens and adolescents. Nilitoka tu, someone calls you, hi, I was looking for someone to take me to do ABCD. And you know very well your day had already a to-do list. Your day had a clearly demarcated to-do list.
Yes.
But because again we go back to personalities and we go back to the self-esteem issues and we go back to people-pleasing aspects, sasa ndakata Alex atanionaje.
So
Ni sawa, ulikuwa unatakaje and you're already feeling the weight on you. Ukamwambia nilikuwa nataka tufike pale, sawa basi. Give me a minute. You have just done your to-do list aside. You have just created a stress. So you'll go the whole day. When you come back in the evening, your to-do list is waiting for you. So as you pile this, what is it creating in you?
Burnout.
So that's why we have to listen to ourselves and we have to really be so aware. It is okay to tell a friend, I had a day planned. Is it okay if maybe I factor it tomorrow? Or, I mean, how I'm trying to balance. Some of us don't know how to say no.
And you're touching so many areas, and I think I think then what is the best way? Because I'm actually trying to understand on how do we communicate boundaries. How do we communicate boundaries? And you're touching areas like family,
Yes.
in friendships, and how even matters finances. Maybe you have an engagement with someone. I was in a group of friends who we were talking about someone is asking for money. Yes, you have it, but it is planned, so you don't have it.
Of course, you don't just have it.
So someone is asking you for, let's say, 1,000 shillings. Yes, you have 2,000, but it is planned for. So you tell them I don't have it, and then there's this with the expectation of the other person also.
Now, you see sometimes,
yes,
I think with friendships, depending again on what's your definition, I've learned to give meaning to concepts.
Giving meaning to
give
concept.
Meaning.
Yes.
And also clarify the meaning on the other end.
Yes.
So when you tell me you're a friend, what does that mean between the two of us? Is it mutual? Do we understand? You see, some of us imagine a friend. My imagination is that if I call you at midnight, you will come. And so if I call you at midnight and you don't pick your phone, then I decide Alex is not a friend.
Yes.
And tomorrow nimekasirikia. The expectations again from the roles. So yes, here is a friend and they're asking for some money and I do not have it. Again, vile tu mmefundana. How do I express that? How do I communicate that? Not necessarily without hurting you, because by saying no, I may hurt you.
Yes.
But it's the truth. Then again, what does friendship mean? Is friendship about when you're gaining and I'm being left hurt? Is that what friendship? Because again, that's some of the friendships we have out there. And when I ask you twice and you tell me you don't have, I remember, let me give you a scenario. Kitambo, There's a day I wanted some money. I needed, not wanted. I needed. Do we need or do we want? I needed some money, and I was so sure. And I walked to a friend, and I expressed. I just told her, "Okay, I currently need ABCD. It is for this." And to me, it was so serious. Like by the time I tell you, you're already thinking of how to sort me. And there's one thing this dear friend told me. She told me, right now, I may not be the one to help you because I do not have what you need. But I believe because it's a need, by the end of the day, you will be sorted. And that's when I learned what a need and a want is. Because when I went and sat back, I realized I would still do without it. So I had baptized my wants
to be a need.
Needs. So I learned that yes, a friend can be a friend and they can be honest enough to tell you, I do not have. And they'll still remain a friend. And sometimes I may not even know where you'll get it, but I'm still a friend. And I may just be there to listen to you as in what you want, but I am still a friend. So if being a friend means that I was to give you, then for me that's not friendship. You're Ndila entitled. Alex ataninyima aje. Then again, so again, a very wide concept. When boundaries, when to say yes, when to say no. Sometimes does my no need to be accompanied by a reason. Sometimes we are not obligated to give a reason. I mean, if I do not have, I do not have. Again, maybe the tone of how I've told you. Again, how far do we go? Again, sometimes you don't have, can I get it from a friend for you? You see, again, it's about, it's a lot. It's a very wide package.
You reminded me of a conversation that I was hearing somewhere about compromise versus resolution.
Oh.
This guy was talking about what we deem as, because what you see in friendship, there are times you're called to, like you see, you have to compromise the standing. And he was talking about it and said, like, what is the meaning of compromise? When something is compromised, something is actually breaking. So it's a weakness. But resolution is mutual, having an understanding.
It's a solution.
It's
Actually,
a solution.
Part of the word is solution.
It's a solution.
Yeah.
So I think that is what you're talking about when we sometimes we cannot, we kind of put ourselves in compromising situations.
Oh yeah, I hear you, because like now I'm getting it, because you come and you ask me for a K, and I know I do not have that amount. But I know there's money somewhere. So I feel, because I can't tell you no, and I don't know, Alex atanionaje.